Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahawah, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahia, not Allah. It's Yahawah. His only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christus, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders over all of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwatium who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from the GMS Orlando camp coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification. Lord's willing is be edifying. And I'm entitled this, The Hands of Yahawah Shall Be Upon All the Heathen. Lord wills be edifying. This is for educational purposes only. This is not for monetary gain. This is for educational purposes only. I do not own the copyright to these videos. This is for educational purposes only. Lord's willing is be edifying. Now this is a clip. I'm going to play two clips. One of them is from Gaddafi, and the other one is from this African leader. Lord willing to be edifying. I want you to hear what Gaddafi is finna say.
Welcome to the African Leadership Series, where we bring you great inspirational speeches
Salakia Gaddafi
from African leaders. On behalf of the Arabs, I'd like to condemn, apologize, and express my deep sorrow.
You heard what he said? On behalf of the Arabs, he like to apologize. Why? Let's listen on. He talking to you Jakes. He's talking to you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. But on here, he apologizing to the Africans. But listen to what he say. Listen to what he say.
For the conduct of some Arabs, especially the wealthy among them, towards their African brothers. The wealthy Arabs.
Now he said the wealthy Arabs, okay? We're going to get that in the scriptures about all the kings of Arabia, okay? In Genesis 25. But let's listen.
Treated their African brothers in a disgraceful way in the past. They brought children and took them to North Africa, to the Arabian Peninsula, and to the other Arab regions.
Now you got to remember, you had the sub-Saharan slave trade and the transatlantic slave trade, okay? We were scattered over the four corners of the earth, man. And how do we get there? Through human trafficking, man.
They subjugated them and traded in them in the most brutal fashion, to tell you the truth. They engaged in slavery and in human trafficking. In the most brutal fashion, to tell you the truth. We are ashamed, along with the African brothers, when we recall this. We are ashamed of those who behaved in this manner, and especially the wealthy Arabs, who viewed the African brothers as inferior slaves. This is no different from the way the West, America, and Europe behave towards the Africans. They would hunt them like animals, treat them like slaves, and act like colonialists. They engaged in colonialism and exploited them, and this continues to this day. We extend our apology and express our sorrows for these acts.
You see, and this ain't just the Idumeans. This also fall on all nations, man. Ishmael, Ham, okay, Elam, Edom, all of them, man. Ammon, Moab. Let's play this
We
one.
are very privileged to be with you, particularly our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and the diaspora, and the people from all over Africa.
Talking to
Our
you, Jakes,
brothers
man.
and sisters from all over Africa. I wish at this point to particularly to apologize deeply on behalf of the chiefs and people of Gold Coast and Ghana for the atrocities, the cruelty, the inhuman treatment that were committed 400 years ago by my ancestors during the Atlantic slave trade,
And the transatlantic.
where over 400 years ago, millions of our brothers and sisters.
Salakia, he said the transatlantic. The sub-Saharan slave trade as well. That's what I meant to say, Salakia. Because this is an African leader apologizing for selling us into slavery. This was 2018.
Were captured, sold, and transported under inhumane and cruel circumstances through Elmina Castle across to the Caribbean and to the New World. On behalf of the chiefs and people of Ghana, I do render unqualified apology.
Now you heard what he just said? He do render a qualified apology. The Lord said, "Will you render me recompense?" You can't. We're going to get the script. We're going to finish this and get the precepts.
Deep from the bottom of our hearts. Deep from our bottom of our hearts. But one thing that I want you to be aware of, it was not without resistance. Some of our chiefs did fought and resisted. Some of our people did fought and resisted. But we are fighting a losing battle against a stronger army. People with guns, and we had no guns. They deceived us with liquor and all other temptations.
Hey, he right. Hey, because they tell you in Revelation 20 that when they came out of their habitation, they came to deceive the nations, man. And you heard he just said they deceived us with liquors and all other manner of atrocities, which is in the scriptures, right? They sold us for muzzle-loading guns, cheap rum, cheap wine. You heard him just say it.
Whatever the circumstances that led us to us, we stand here to render apology. And it's my wish and prayer that this apology is accepted. Is accepted deep by our brothers and sisters from the diaspora.
Talk to you, Jakes, man.
May the blood of Jesus assist us to overcome that evil.
Jesus
That
Christos ain't gonna save you.
Never again should we witness
Jesus Christos will not save you heathens, man.
this inhuman cruelty of man to man in this country. I thank you, and once again, on behalf of the chiefs and people of Ghana, we do render this apology.
He said, we do render this apology. The Lord say, Will you render me a recompense? This is Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against the hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, which is the Arabs of Moab, the Chinese and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, which is the Japanese, so-called Japanese, and Amalek, that's the chief house of Edom, the Philistines, which is the Hamites, the Africans, so-called Africans, with the inhabitants of Tyre, which is also Africans, Hamites. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. So, all these nations had their hands on you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, you West Indians, and Haitians. This is Psalms 105. I'm going to start at verse 15. It reads, Psalm 105, start at verse 5. It reads, remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders, and the judgments of his mouth. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. He is the Lord our power, his judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he hath commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying, unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. When they were but a few men in number, yea, very few, and strangers in it, when they went from one nation to another, when they went from one nation to Salakia, when they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes, saying, touch not my anointed, and do my prophet no harm. What did they do? The opposite of that, right? And he said, touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. This is, now the reason I'm doing this lesson, because that video popped up about Gaddafi apologizing, right? For what the kings of the Arabs did, right? You got to remember, Ishmael being our uncle, right? The firstborn of Abraham. What happened? The Lord told Abraham to send Ishmael away. You got to understand, when this man grew, as he grew, he's still reflecting on how he was kicked out, man. He had to leave. The Lord told his father to send him away. So Ishmael have a perpetual hatred as well, too, man. You got to understand, through the history, Ishmael have a hatred towards you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, you West Indian Haitians. Let's read this. This is Genesis 18. Right? It reads, Genesis 18:18. It says, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, the Lord saith, for I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, if they shall keep the way of the Lord Yahawah to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. So it said, for I know him that he will command his children and his household after him. That's why for the most part now, the Ishmaelites still keeping the customs of Israel, man. Okay? They women all covered up. Some of you can see their faces. They women wear dresses. They in order, right? Because Ishmael still keep the customs. But he have never forgot what happened to him, man. That's why they hate you Jakes as well, man. Because who created the slave ships that we was on? The Ishmaelites. Let's read on. This is Genesis 21:1. It reads, show you about Ishmael, right? And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord said unto her, Sarah, as he had spoken, for Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, and at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, so that all that heareth will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. Ishmael having forgot this, man. Verse 11, and the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, and all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And they know this. Ishmaelites know this, man. Verse 13, verse 13, and also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Bathsheba. So, Ishmael haven't forgot this, man. Okay? He haven't forgot this. This is Genesis 16 and 11. It reads, and the angel of the Lord Yahawah said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord Yahawah hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. So it said Ishmael shall be a wild man, and his hands shall be against every man. Starting with who? With Isaac and Jacob and their sons, man. Okay? His hands should be against every man. So Ishmael haven't forgot this, man. Right? This is, but guess what? They all gotta pay, man. Then the reason I'm doing this video because of what Gaddafi said, man. Apologizing, right? But he talking about to the Africans. But really he talking about, because he said, Lord willing, if I have enough time to play the video game, he said that they grabbed the Africans from the north, right? When we had to flee during the time of the Roman Empire, right? We had to flee in the Africa and other parts of the world. Where do we mostly land at? In the north and west part. We were scattered everywhere over Africa, I'm sure. But mainly the north and west parts, man. Right? Because they got a Fort Benjamin and a Fort Judah over there. The ports where they was loading us on the slave ships at. So this is Jeremiah 25 and 15. The point of this lesson showing that Ishmael got to pay too. That's the point of this lesson. We know Ham got to pay. We know Edom got to pay. Ishmael, Moab, and Ammon got to pay, man. This is Jeremiah 25 and 15. For thus saith the Lord, Yahawah power Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all nations to whom I will send thee to drink it. And they shall drink it, and be moved, and be mad, because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink, unto whom the Lord hath sent me. Right? we know Jake gonna get it. Let's start at 19. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azar, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, and Moab, and the children of Ammon, all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan and Teman and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arabia. The first video I played was Gaddafi apologizing, just like you see right here. This African leader, man, it's saying all the kings of Arabia and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world. The Lord gonna have his hand on all you, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Sheshach shall drink after them. Therefore, thus say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahawah of hosts, the power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to drink the cup at thine hand, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahawah of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. You see, all these nations got to pay, man. This is 2nd Ezra 15. And let's start at verse 46. Because this is all the known world and the new world. 2nd Ezra 15:46. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. So all of Asia, man. Okay, all of Asia. Who's over there? Then all the known world, everybody over there, man. Okay, all the nations I just named in Jeremiah 25, they all have to pay. Every last one of them. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her. So the rest of the world have made themselves like unto who? Babylon the Great, man. Why? Because of the beast, man. The harlot that sits on the scarlet colored beast, right? You got EU, the European Union, NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization have joined themselves to Babylon the Great, the harlot, and now they are what? Confederate together. Okay? It say, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they may please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Right? That's why Revelation 18, man, all the nations is going to mourn when this place get thrown down. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions, therefore say of power. She is hated. Sins have reached unto heaven. The Lord hates everything about this planet, man. Why? Because of the wicked oppression, man. 2nd Ezra 11, right? That have covered the earth without wicked oppression. Verse 49, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, and pestilence, to waste the houses with destruction and death, and the glory of the power shall be dried up as flour when the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, as one is chastened with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. It say, would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord Yahawah, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thy hands, and saying over their dead when thou wast drunken. Set forth thy beauty of thy countenance, the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord Yahawah, even so shall power do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. All these nations got to pay, man. Okay? All of them. It's Joel 3:1. It reads, for behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahawah, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, which he was just mentioning, and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine, that they may drink. You just heard him say, you know, they tricked us and deceived us with liquors and all other sorts of atrocities. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine, which you see on the screen, so-called African, Hamite? Will ye render me a recompense? What he said, we render apology. Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you may remove them far from their border. But I will raise them out of the place whether you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord Yahawah have spoken it. So you can't render to the Lord a recompense, man. You can't render to the Lord. The Lord said He's gonna pay you back for what you have done, man. Amos chapter 1, verse 6. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity, to deliver them up to Edom. Ham delivered us to Edom. Verse 7. But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palaces thereof, and I will cut off the inhabitants from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon, and I will turn my hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith the Lord Yahawah. If you know about these lands, this is talking about the original people, the Hamites. Okay? Verse 9. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remember not the brotherly covenant. But I will send a fire on the walls of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. So Ham have to pay, man. Ishmael have to pay. They all became confederate together to take us down, man. Right? Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 15 reads, for the day of the Lord Yahawah, Bahashim Hawashai, is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. For as ye have drunken upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. You see, everything they have done to you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian Haitians, they gotta pay. Let's play this again with Gaddafi. Gaddafi. Play this again.
Welcome to the African Leadership Series, where we bring you great inspirational speeches from African leaders. On behalf of the Arabs, I'd like to condemn, apologize, and express my deep sorrow for the conduct of some Arabs, especially the wealthy among them, towards their African brothers. The wealthy Arabs treated their African brothers in a disgraceful way in the past. They brought children and took them to North Africa, to the Arabian Peninsula, and to the other Arab regions.
You heard him, he said from North Africa, man. Jake was scattered all over, but North and West Africa mainly, man. Okay, he said what? The king, he said the wealthy among Arabs, man. Jeremiah 25 and 24. And all the kings of Arabia and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, they all gotta pay, man.
They subjugated them and traded in them. In the most brutal fashion, to tell you the truth, they engaged in slavery and in human trafficking. In the most brutal fashion, to tell you the truth, we are ashamed, along with the African brothers, when we recall this. We are ashamed of those who behaved in this manner, and especially the wealthy Arabs, who viewed the African brothers as inferior slaves. This is no different from the way the West, America, and Europe behave towards the Africans. They would hunt them like animals, treat them like slaves, and act like colonialists. They engaged in colonialism and exploited them. And this continues to this day. We extend our apology and express our sorrows for these acts.
Hey, you see, Ishmael, the reason they did it, man, because they didn't forget, man. When the father casted Ishmael away, man. Okay, they know about this, man. They know about you Jakes, man. It's just you Jakes that don't know. Ishmael has a hatred for Israel, for you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, you West Indian Haitians as well, man. Ishmael got a hatred too, man. The blessing didn't go to him. He was the first son, right? Just like Edom, man, the first son. Esau ain't get the blessing, man. It went to Jacob. Ishmael didn't get the blessing. It went to Isaac. There's nothing new under the sun, man. Play this again.
We are very privileged to be with you, particularly our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean
Talking to you Jakes, man.
and the diaspora. And the people from all over Africa, our brothers and sisters from all over Africa. I wish at this point to particularly to apologize deeply on behalf of the chiefs and people of Gold Coast and Ghana for the atrocities, the cruelty, the inhuman treatment that were committed 400 years ago by my ancestors during the Atlantic slave trade, where over 400 years ago, millions of our brothers and sisters were captured, sold, and transported under inhumane and cruel circumstances through Elmina Castle across to the Caribbean and to the New World. On behalf of the chiefs and people of Ghana, I do render unqualified apology.
He said the chiefs, right? So I read in Jeremiah 25. Let's read it again. He said the chiefs of who? Talking about of Ham, right? Jeremiah 25 and verse 22. And all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, you have to pay, man.
Deep from the bottom of our hearts. Deep from our bottom of our hearts. But one thing that I want you to be aware of, it was not without resistance.
Right. Well, he's cheesing. It was not without resistance, but he cheesing. It's a joke. This is Zephaniah 3 and 18. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time will I undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gathered you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all the people of the earth, and I will turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawah. Lord, what is edifying, gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawah, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, whether you can accept it or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. Shalom to the Awakim who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. The Lord willing, it was edifying. Till next time I say Shalom. Hey, wah abah babah. The water for tuning in.